Some huge games, as we seem to be saying, week in, week out, but none more so than this week, because Rushen have had a fantastic start to the season. They can move clear at the top of the Canada Life Premier League with a win tomorrow. But it isn't straightforward, is it? Because they have to travel to Glen Crutchery Road to face a St George's side who have taken maximum points, 4 wins from 4 this season. Tony Mepham, please delve into your infinite wisdom and tell us who is favourites for this match.
Well, isn't it great to watch because, the way things are going at the moment, we haven't got a clue what's going on. When you look at sort of Rushen's result last week against St Mary's, absolutely fantastic. And then the week before when they worked ever so hard against Pele. But St George's, you look at the league tables and, they've played 4, got maximum points and goal difference is in touch with everybody else. So they're going well. The team that they've got out at the moment, we knew it was sort of another crossover period where sort of more experienced players were going to come out of it and younger ones were going to come in. And the younger ones are going really well. And I think it's helped with the form of Sean Quay, Chris Bass, who's helping things with the younger players there. And then when you look at sort of the form of Joel Ibanez and also Joe Quayle, it's good to see him back in there. It just gives St George's a different dimension. But fair play to Rushen. It's caught a few people out, I think, and they're playing ever so well. Liam Cowan's done a great job there in getting the team to play as a unit, and they're causing all sorts of problems. The form of Mikey Williams up front over the last couple of games has helped things, and when you look at people like Kyle Long and others that are in there impressing and playing out of their skin, it bodes well for a great fixture. And you're going to ask me to pick a winner. It's going to be really tough to pick one in this one, but maybe on current form, you just wonder if Rushen can do it in St George's home pitch. I'm not too sure.
Well, current leaders, Laxey, they're only leaders on goal difference, but leaders nonetheless, they are not playing this weekend. So if Rushen were to get maximum points, they would move clear at the top of that Premier League table. There are huge matches wherever you look this weekend. St Mary's against Pele at the Bowl. This was arguably the fixture of the season last year when these two teams vying for that Premier League title. And Pele have what you would call a stuttering start, I think, to this campaign. But St Mary's, they're looking for a response following that defeat last week.
Well, they are, and that'll have upset St Mary's. And I think also Pele will be looking at it over the last couple of games. What's not quite right because forward line, Lee Gale was missing last week. Hopefully his illness is cleared up and he'll play this week. You've got the Player of the Year, Rhys Oates, in there through that middle, and new signing Ireland player Dan Simpson there on the left-hand side. So you'd expect it to be full on. But, my credit has to go out to Laxey last week. The way they coped with everything that was thrown at them. And certainly Pele know the Bowl. They know it really well. St Mary's will be sort of plotting to make the benefit of that pitch, the wider pitch, to see if they can exploit problems in there. But I know Frank Jones, Jack McVeigh are always key in that centre midfield role. Carl Clark, Alex Harrison will be at the back. And then when you look around, then you're just hoping that people like sort of Connor Birch, James Murphy, who, will link that centre back role, full back role together to try and get it wide, left-hand side, right-hand side. So it's just a question of who plays well on the day. I've watched Pele in both games and, there is something missing. And I just think it's around that midfield area. Steve Faulkner's still trying to find out what's his best for to play in those positions.
A lot is made when one of these big teams loses points. All the talk beforehand, before a ball was kicked, was of St Mary's, Pele, St George's and Corinthians. How seriously do the rest of the teams in this league have to take Rushen and Laxey, given their fantastic starts to this season?
You have to take them very serious. And certainly Laxey last week, I was well surprised of how well they did with such a young team. And there's 2 or 3 young players in there who were exceptional last week. And to me, the one that sort of I liked big time was Mason Henry, who played at the back. They've got other players there. Rob Slinger did really well in goal. Dave Corlett, Max Murley at the back as well, kept things nice and solid. But you've got other players in there. Jack Rydings, he was playing for Corinthians Combination last year and he's come in and looks absolutely superb in that position in midfield. So you have to take them very serious. Laxey at top, Rushen a second. Laxey have got some real big games coming up shortly where they're going to be playing, 4 Railway Cup slot really when you look at it, Chris. Rushen are the same as well. They've played 5, St Mary's 5 and then St George's 4, Corinthians 4. So There's an awful lot to play for, but I think it's a 6 now. We've been talking about it over the last couple of sets of results. As where we were looking at a 4, I think Laxey and Rushen have joined the party and gone well.